All right, mate. Quick thoughts on BNB BTC. Well, to look at the BTC, I would also prefer to look at the USD chart. One of them is not going to run without the other. They are both mathematically intertwined with BTC, of course. For example, now don't quote me on this, but it's rough, very rough at this point in time. This is the BTC pair done at 10x. This done 24, almost 25x. Now I just done that rough by I didn't go and refine that, but you can see it's about 25x, right? And this is 10x. So that means that Bitcoin would have had to do 14x to make both of these equal. Because obviously 10 and 14 or 15, I should say, Bitcoin probably done 15x, I should be saying. As far as I know, that's pretty true. Well, let's look from the lows there to the highs. Well, you can see there that Bitcoin did do well right to the, if you really refine it to peak to peak, you can see right there it's 15x. So you can see that they're mathematically intertwined. So the BTC pair will move according to the USD pair combined with Bitcoin, of course. So you basically add the BTC pair movements and with the Bitcoin movements. But I'm just saying that because other people might be watching this video and some people mightn't understand that. At this point, when I do look at this sort of pattern here, it does give the impression that it wants to go lower. It's not really a given though, but it's like that may not happen. Actually, that may not happen. The thing we are most definitely, I'll say that with a pinch of salt, but most definitely having a red 6 month candle, right, in a lot of these coins all over the market, BTC included. So that kind of means that if somehow this is going to hold up here, it's probably going to be the next 6 month candle that's going to be green. We're probably going to either dip a bit more or maybe bounce a little bit or whatever, but the main move, if we are going to recover in the market at this point, it looks like we're having a red 6 month candle. So that tells us that to be truly bullish, if this is going to recover, we probably need to wait another 2 months. That's if we are going to recover. There is every chance here that this forms a bearish engulfing candle, and then that maybe there can be more downside. Make that a red candle. And Bitcoin is the exact same at this point. Now I don't know. Did you quick thoughts on BNBTC? But I don't know if you mean for an investment, if you mean for a day trade or a scalp or whatever. Like this pattern here, it really kind of does look like a bearish pattern. And we've even had bearish monthly stop hunts, and we have 5 days left in the month. This is kind of implying that the next month there can be more downside, okay, down to retest these lows. And this is what it's saying here. Also, this, you can see here a bearish monthly stop hunt in a bear flag pattern. It's kind of implying at this point that we can have more downside next month. How do we negate that? Well, we obviously need to pop up and have a green candle, but the likelihood is that we would need to, because of the bearishness of the overall structure and the pattern, we would probably need to create a bullish engulfing candle back up to negate what we have here, and there would probably be a bullish stop hunt as well, like maybe some downside and then pop up and flip green again, if this market is gonna, like if we are gonna have that continuation on the 6 month that I just talked about, because this market is unlikely to be overly bullish until a new 6 month candle. Of course we can bounce, but if we're going to be true into a true bull market or bull trend, it's likely to be a 6 month candle. Now, one thing I will say on BNB is I know it's deflationary. They've been burning loads of the coins and all this sort of stuff, but these these inclining support, quite often they do like to break down. So I will say that quite often that they like to break down and kind of just break that support. I should change that to red just to so there's no confusion. But you know, I'm not a biggest fan of these inclining supports, and Bitcoin actually has one of those as well. These necklines just they don't always like to hold. Can they hold? Of course, but in time, depending on the structure, right? For example, if they continue, for example, if it kind of does this for a long time, you know, and it's an inclining support, well, that turns it very bullish. But when it's a small, short neckline like this, it can be bearish. But if it continues into a longer pattern, well, this will like to moonshot back to the upside. And these can be extremely bullish patterns, but they generally like to continue for a longer period of time. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't need to go into 2024, but I just mean a longer base. Now, this is not a great example, but I'll just move you across here. NVIDIA, for example, you have this rising support, but as it accumulates into a longer pattern, they love to bark back up. Now, that's not a great example because this one is on a crash down the lows and does it, but it's kind of the same principle. Oh. So for me, anyway, I don't see any reason to be buying BNB at this point. At least wait until a new month, but I think most of the market will need a new 6-month candle if we do get some sort of pattern like this on BNB. Like if we dip down on a new month and then all these coins start popping up and flipping green on the month, well, that's when we can have a bullish month, and that's when we want to be getting involved. Right now it's a complete knife catch, and it's implying that we still go lower, so it's still time to kind of be sitting on your hands and waiting for these opportunities to develop. It is a knife catch here. You need to be very aggressive if you want to trade it, and it's just not too safe. For example, you know, if you do start buying here, what if there is some sort of crash and we're still dropping down to here? You know, you're overexposing yourself a little bit early, especially when there's not even a bullish pattern yet.